Hey, this is Brandon from Bright Arrows Ranch, and today's project is fixing my Hayspear. So this is an attachment plate that I built out of an old bucket that was all busted up, skid steer bucket, and it mounts on the front there just like a bucket would. It worked really well. I used it for about a year, and then I got a little reckless one day and my point fell off, the point that was attached right there. Now if you look, that is the end of a torsion bar off a Toyota Land Cruiser. Just something I had laying around. It was about 4 feet long, made out of spring steel, pretty stout, but I was using it and a tree was in my way, a tree that was kind of hanging in some other trees, so I pushed against it and I caught that point, and it ended up springing the point and snapped it off. It kind of shattered actually. So what I've got now is a Hayspear point that I bought about 75 bucks. Now a Hayspear attachment for a skid steer would run close to $500, and so rather than buy a new Hayspear attachment, I'm going to take the one that I built and repair it by putting a new point on it. So the objective is to get this bushing right here welded where the old point was welded on, and then that's something that can be removed, can be changed. You can put a shorter one in. Once that bushing is in there, there's a nut on the back side. Once that bushing is welded on to the attachment plate, then you can change it out or do what you got to do with it. So anyway, the plan is to cut this out and bore a hole through the back, and it'll stick out in between where the loader hooks up, and then once that's all prepped, I'll take and weld that bushing on there and reinforce it with a couple of plates. You know, I'll put some get some ribs in here, gussets, and reinforce it, and we'll be good to go. So stick around and check it out. All right, there it is. The old part of the torsion spring is out of there. A little bit of cleaning up to do, and then we'll be ready to mount this bushing. So this is a taper bushing, so that the back of the hole is much smaller than the front, and then the end of the spear is tapered as well. And that's used in a lot of industrial applications where a shaft needs to be fitted to a hub or something like that. They'll use a taper because when you draw this in tight, it's very strong as far as clamping power. So it's a really good way to do this. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up here, and then we'll start fitting that piece in there and getting ready to weld. All right, got it all cleaned up. Got my hole burned through there. There's the back side. All right. So you may be wondering, how did I cut that hole? And the answer is, when you got a big welder like mine, excuse the junk pile, when you got a big welder, you just turn the amps up to about, I don't know, 260, 280. Put some 5/32 rod in there, and you just burn right through it. Works pretty good. Able to be fairly clean with it too. I wouldn't say it's as good as having like an oxygen lance or something, but it sure beats dragging the torches out when you already got the welder running. So there's a hole. I'm gonna get the bushing up in there and the spear on there and tighten the nut down to hold it, and then we'll start welding the bushing in place. Pretty cool. Okay, got the Hayspear dry fit in the hole, got the bushing on there, and the nut is tightened down on the back side. You'll see that right there. I don't have it super tight, but I got it tight enough I can start tack welding the bushing in place. And then I'll take it back off there. I'll take the point out of the bushing and do all my finish welding, and then we'll be good to go. All right, there it is, finished product. Got it all welded up, made a gusset for this side here, got it welded up good. So that bushing is welded all the way around at the base, all the way up the middle rib, both sides, top and bottom. And then top and bottom on the first half of the gusset, around the side. And then again across the bottom of the bushing on the inside of the gusset. So before putting the point in and tightening the nut down, I put grease on the taper, and then I put grease on the threads. Also put a little bit of primer and paint on there. And there we go. Got a nice functional Hayspear. So for those of you that don't know, a Hayspear is an attachment I put on the track loader, and it lets me ram into a hay bale, pick it up, move it around, set it down, I can just back away. Unlike forks, you got to get underneath the hay bale, where that prevents you from being able to stack the hay bales because your forks are at the contact points. Using a Hayspear makes moving hay so much better. I'm Brandon from Bright Arrows Ranch. Thanks for watching.